Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson. While watching these videos, please keep something to write with and your classwork books nearby. This will make it easier for you to take notes, write down interesting thoughts, and therefore have a better lesson. And perhaps, most importantly, although classes have been indefinitely suspended, learning never stops. Let's rock! Today, we're going to talk about, and you will hopefully have the opportunity to perform an experiment at home. Hold up, wait a minute. What is an experiment? In very simple terms, an experiment is a test to find something out. In more complex language, it is a scientific test to find out what happens to someone or something in particular conditions. Were you paying attention? Well, here's a short quiz. What is the definition of an experiment? Please choose one of the following answers. Option 1. A written test at school. For example, an English test. Option 2. A spoken test at home. For example, if your mother asks, "Why is your room messy?" Option 3. A scientific test to find something out. Option 4. A spoken test at school. For example, when you need to read something for your teacher. Pause the video if you need to, or you can also go back to listen to the beginning of the video again. However, when you're ready, please choose your answer and then continue. Okay, time's up. What is the definition of an experiment? An experiment is a scientific test to find something out. Therefore, the answer is option 3. Okay, a very, very, very important disclaimer is please get permission from your parents before you perform any experiments at home. It's probably best if they watch you and help you while you do this. Okay, first let's talk about what you will need. You will need a bowl, some water, some black pepper or another spice, liquid hand soap, a hand towel, and also, this one is optional, but it would help if you have a camera. The name of this experiment is Why Soap Works. In this experiment, you are going to find out why soap works and why it is better than using just water to wash your hands. In this experiment, the surface of the water in the bowl represents your hands. That means the surface of the water in the bowl, we can think about it as your hands. So the surface of the water is your hands, okay? The pepper represents harmful dirt and germs that need to be washed away. Therefore, we can think of the pepper as germs. The pepper is something dirty that you want to wash off your hands. There are 2 tests in this experiment, and they will show you what happens when you wash your hands with and without soap. Okay, let's go through the steps together. Step number 1. Fill the bowl with water, but not all the way to the top. Step 2. Sprinkle some black pepper on the surface of the water. You should see the black pepper floating on the water. Step 3. Test 1. Dip your finger into the center of the bowl of water. Watch what happens to the pepper and record this. Step 4. Dry your hand, then dip your finger into the liquid hand soap. Step 5. This is test number 2. Dip your soapy finger into the center of the bowl of water. Watch what happens to the pepper and record this. Well, do you remember when I said that perhaps it would be better if you have a camera? If you do have a camera, use it to take photos to record what happens to the pepper each time you put your finger into the bowl. Let's go over the steps again. This time perhaps you can write them down. That way you can do this without the video. So if you need to, after you listen to each step, pause the video and write it down in your class or book. Okay, here we go again. Step number 1. Fill the bowl with water, but not all the way to the top. Step 2. Sprinkle some black pepper on the surface of the water. You should see the black pepper floating. Step 3. Dip your finger into the center of the bowl of water. Watch what happens to the pepper and record this. This is test number 1. Step 4. Dry your hand, then dip your finger into the liquid hand soap. Step 5. Dip your soapy finger into the center of the bowl of water. Watch what happens to the pepper and record this. This is test number 2. And that brings us to the end of our experiment. In the next video, we will talk about the results of your experiment, how to keep a record sheet, and also what the experiment means. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was useful, and I hope you learned something. Remember, we don't have face-to-face classes these days, but learning never stops. Take care and see you next time. Goodbye.